Hey YouTube, today we're going to be looking at a Ruger pistol, and what we have here in front of us, we have a Ruger Mark II chambered in 22 long rifle. And before we get started, I'm going to show you this Ruger pistol doesn't have anything in it, and we are clear to make this video. So what we have here, this is a Ruger Mark II chambered in 22 long rifle. This is a target model, and this particular one happens to be made out of stainless steel. And a little bit of history about these guns is this is probably the most successful 22 long rifle pistol probably ever produced. This is what got Ruger started in the firearm industry. And in 1949, Bill Ruger came up with this design, and it kind of favors the profile of a German Luger. And he designed it in his garage. He didn't have the financial backing to bring it home, so he got a financial backer, which the last name was Sturm, and they invested $50,000 into it, and they started this project off. And this particular gun, the way it is, the receiver was built out of stamped steel and welded together in two pieces, and the rest of it was casted, because Ruger came up with the best way to cast stuff. The original cost on these guns were about $37.50, and they made it very affordable because of the way that they reduced the cost of manufacturing. That's what Ruger's always been able to do. And very few changes have been made to these guns since 1949 until the present, but they have made a few changes, and this is the second generation one. So these were introduced around 1982 is when the Mark II came out, and they produced them all the way up, I believe, till 2004. So I'm going to show you some close-ups of this. It says Ruger Mark II, and it has all the billboard stuff written on the side of it, all the safety stuff and everything, and the serial numbers on this side. So this particular one happens to be produced in 1987, and this is the target model. So what the target model means is it had a larger bull barrel. It's a 5.5-inch barrel, has a large front side. It has adjustable rear side for windage and elevation. So this is a target shooting model. Now all these guns had the plastic grips on them, and they had the Ruger sign on one side. So Sturm is the one that came up with the Ruger emblem here, and the original one what looked like this. It was a red background with the bird on it, and after he passed away, they started making just the black ones in the back. So it's really rare to find the really old ones that had the red Ruger emblem on the side of it. So there's a few differences they came up with, and one day we'll do a video and show you the difference in the Mark I and the Mark II. But the biggest differences is this slide release right here. So when you pull this slide open on the last shot, it holds the actual bolt. I guess you can't call it a slide. It holds the bolt open on the last shot, and the Mark I's will not do that. And then it has a slide release. You push down on it, and that releases it. One of the other differences is on the bottom here on the magazines. The very early Mark I's had this little hump on the other side, so the magazines would not interchange unless you switch this around. Now the later target model Mark I's did have that, and I have one of those that does have the same hump, so the magazines do interchange. There's a manual safety on here that can only be activated and deactivated when it is cocked, and these guns are super accurate. They're pretty heavy. There's absolutely no recoil to them. They're very affordable. That's one of their main marketing things, was that they were very affordable. They cost about $37.50 when they were introduced, and they were a big hit, and it's probably been one of the most successful 22 target pistols on the market. So it has an actual bolt on the inside of it, and it has these little serrations here on the side, and you put your fingers on them and you pull the bolt back, and that's how you cycle the first round into it. The magazine release on the Mark II is a heel release. It's on the bottom, and it has a 10-round magazine that goes in it. So it's just a single stack 10-round magazine that goes into them, and Later on down the road, in about 2004, they started putting the magazine release right here, more conventional, more modern style. But the older ones always had this heel release on them. I've always wanted one of these in stainless steel, and I recently found this one, and I couldn't pass it up. I offered the place what I thought was a fair deal, and they accepted it, so I got it. It's in pretty remarkable condition to be manufactured all the way in 1987. So, you know, it's 30-something years old. This gun is. It's not all beat up or anything that looks like it's been abused or anything like that. This is a great gun to take to the range and teach somebody how to shoot and target shoot. These things are probably one of the most accurate guns you'll ever put your hands on, and follow-up shots are very easy because of the light 22 long rifle round that you're shooting out of them. Bull barrel, very heavy duty, very well made, very forgiving, and it's made out of stainless steel, and I couldn't be happier to own it. So these guns have been around since 1949 all the way up to the present. They made a Mark I, Mark II, a Mark III, and a Mark IV, and then they also came out with what they call a 2245, which had a polymer frame on the bottom, and the receiver, of course, was still metal. And on the polymer frame ones, they had more of a grip angle of a 1911. I'm not a real big fan of those. I like this one. This is the more original design on it, and I actually prefer the metal frame ones. But they didn't start making them in stainless steel until this Mark II came out. The original ones, they were all blued carbon steel. You couldn't get a stainless one until the Mark II came out, and I've always just wanted a stainless one. I have the exact gun in a Mark I that is carbon blued steel. But if you have any questions on this gun or anything about these Ruger Mark Series 22s, they're actually called the Ruger Standard. That was the original name of them. Feel free to reach out. I'm not an expert on them, but I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have if I can answer it. And thank you very much for watching my video today, and you folks have a great day.